dogs can't be part of the yoga.
My dog always tries to get in on the yoga action. She might come down here, who knows?
So you guys do yoga all the time?
Yes. So I instruct at a studio currently. So I teach a couple times a week. I had my 200-hour yoga teacher training. I graduated last June, so not even a year ago now, but I've been doing yoga for a very long time. So I just decided before I had kids, I wanted to get my certification, and I wound up getting pregnant during my 10-month 10-month course, and I graduated from yoga teacher training when I was 7 months pregnant. So I was a big old belly trying to finish out my yoga training, but it was great.
I just do a whole bunch of stuff. I think I used to go to a hot yoga studio in El Paso that I really liked when I was in El Paso, obviously. But since we moved back here, I haven't really gone in a studio anywhere. I just do videos from Tone It Up.
Yeah.
And I'm not good. I'll tell you, I'm sure I know my positions are not good.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're totally fine.
So is there anything to see?
What's that, Karen?
Is there anything to see in El Paso?
Mountains. The
I
border.
was born there and I've never seen it and I want to go, but my husband said there's nothing to go for, so I don't know.
It's gotten better. We were there for 7 years and it had gotten improvements over those years. They built a ballpark. That was pretty cool. I mean, it has really great hiking and you're not far from, you know, if you kind of go down that area and do like the Southwest, you can get to some cool places like Santa Fe isn't too far from there. And I mean, 6 hours, but in comparison to the rest of Texas, that's in New Mexico, obviously. But I mean, my parents loved coming down to visit and my dad, you know, and enjoyed the sights, but I think there wasn't a lot to do when you live there.
Yeah.
It's a unique place. That's funny. I know.
Hi, Gianna.
I think you're.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How's everyone?
Good.
Is your dog gonna join us?
We'll see. I might have to have my camera go off at some times if she starts getting crazy, but she's German Shepherds are known for like never leaving your side.
Yeah.
So I guess right now too. So hopefully
he's a mix. He's a mutt. We rescued him, but we think he's part Shepherd, part Airedale Terrier or something, and he's always close by. Clearly up there eating a bone right now. But
So we talked a little bit about Karen and Leslie's yoga background, but Gianna, do you have any experience with yoga?
my experience is limited to I've gone to Carrie's
Okay.
classes and I do a lot of Beachbody programs, so they'll like include it once in a while in a workout. So I'm a beginner, but
No, that's great.
feel free to do any more advanced stuff and I'll just do the best I can.
No, you're fine. That's fine. And yeah, that's a great segue into like just do what you can. And that's really all that yoga is about, is just doing what feels right in your body. And what I'm doing in my body might look different. That's honestly probably just because we're built differently, or you have longer legs than I do, or like whatever the case may be. So that's like the number one thing to definitely highlight, is just do what you can and what feels right to you. And if what feels right to you is sleeping in child's pose for 60 minutes because you're exhausted, then that is totally fine. But if you want to play some music, some light music in the background, that's always really relaxing. I did include a Spotify playlist that you could try. I put the link to that in the chat if you're on Spotify and you're interested in that, or if you just want some silence, that's fine too. But I would recommend just muting yourself when we start so that my video is the one that shows up for you guys always. Cause you know how Zoom is, like if there's noise in the background, it'll bring that video onto the screen. So that you can see me the whole time, just mute yourself and then, yeah, and then you can hear and see me. But, well, Leslie, I think we can probably get started. Do you think so? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
They join.
Okay, cool. So just, definitely have a yoga mat. You can have some blocks like the ones I have there. If that is something you enjoy, you could always have like a pillow, or if you like any type of props or a blanket, like whatever might benefit you for being comfortable in different poses. Please, I encourage use of all props. You probably won't see me using props too much tonight, but if you choose to, that's totally fine. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get on our mats and come to a comfortable seated position. So at different times, I might be positioned on my mat differently than you guys are, just because it's so hard with Zoom for you to try to get you to see me. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna start timing us. And you can sit like in hero's pose, kind of like this. Traditionally, it's more comfortable to sit crisscross, obviously. Let me go ahead and start this music so I can kind of follow along with you all if you're doing that. Okay. All right. It's not working, so we're just gonna go without it. So just a comfortable seated position, crisscross, legs folded, legs out long, whatever is comfortable for you. We're gonna be here for a few minutes, so just find somewhere that you can be for a little while. So place both hands on your knees and draw your shoulders up towards your ears and down your back to really open up through your chest here. Long spine. So think about a string pulling from the crown of your head to the ceiling, really to get you sit up nice and straight. Even if you need to kind of shift from side to side, removing some of the flesh from underneath your sits bones so you can get a really nice, tall, comfortable seat. And you can either close your eyes here, or you can just have a soft gaze down your nose. Just start to breathe. Focus on whatever breath feels natural to you, not trying to change your breath at all, not trying to speed it up or adapt it or anything like that. Just what is your natural breath? Take notice of your body. Take notice of how you feel in this easy seat. Are your hips tight? Are your knees tight? Do your shoulders hurt? Are you kind of scrunching your shoulders up towards your ears? Just relax them down. Are you furrowing your brows? Are you clenching your jaw? Just find total peace here. Sealing the lips, let's start to inhale through the nostrils for a count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top for just a moment and exhale through the nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you inhale this time, feel your belly expand. Feel the air fill your belly through all 4 sides of your belly. So through the front of the belly, the sides, and the back, like you're filling up a balloon. As much air as you can. Take another sip at the top and exhale through the nose, feeling that balloon completely collapse, drawing your navel in towards your spine. One more inhale. Inhale through the nose, fill that balloon, fill the belly through all 4 sides. Hold at the top. Exhale all the air out of your belly. Balloon shrinks. Find 2 more of these breaths at your own pace. When you're making these yogic breaths and you're inhaling through your nose, you want an audible sound. You want a loud breath. So really concentrating on drawing that air in. So you're almost making an oceanic sound with your breath, a wave of equal inhale, equal exhale. One more breath. Stay concentrated on your breath as we move throughout practice today. The biggest part of yoga is your breath. So if you're not breathing, you're not doing yoga. So even if you're just sitting here because you're tired and of the postures, make sure that breath is flowing the whole time, okay? So as we inhale, we're going to start to move our bodies. So we're going to inhale both of the arms sweeping up overhead. Palms come to touch. As you exhale, twist to the right. Place the left palm on the right knee. The right hand is coming back behind the back. The fingertips are perched on the ground. You inhale for length, get a little taller through the crown of the head. Continue to twist towards the right side. As you exhale, twist from the neck even more so that the gaze goes behind the back. As you inhale, draw everything back to center. Your right arm lifts up, crosses over your body for the opposite knee. Round through the back, draw your chin towards your chest, and really round, really push, drawing the navel towards the spine, chin to chest. As you inhale, cross those elbows into a twist, twist the arms, interlace all of your fingers, and start to bring your chest and your arms up towards the ceiling, finding an arch in the back. Exhale, keep these arms twisted and roll forward, drawing the elbows towards the belly. As you inhale, release everything up. Hands to prayer up at the top. As you exhale, twisting over to the left. Right hand to left knee, left fingertips behind the body, lengthen through the crown of the head, and exhale a little bit more into that twist. Gaze towards the back of the room. Inhale, the left arm sweeps up and over, reaching for that knee. Round the back as you exhale, draw your chin to your chest. Inhale, cross those arms. Lengthen up through the arms, elbows rise. Exhale to bend, really rounding through that back once more. As you inhale, both arms come back up overhead, and just exhale them down by your side. All right, so we're gonna come into a half boat position. So I'm gonna turn like this so you can see me. You're gonna find that sweet spot right there on your sacrum where you're kind of like a little triangle. You're gonna start to lean back just a little bit. Your palms are pointing towards your feet, so they're supporting your hands your body right behind your hips. Lean back just slightly and let your legs rise. Your shins are gonna parallel the mat. I don't have that much pressure in my hands, they're just there for support. As you exhale, lengthen the legs out to hover over the mat. Inhale to crunch them in. We're just gonna warm up the core here a little bit with some boat crunches. Inhale, exhale, inhale. 2 more times. Exhale to lengthen. Inhale. Exhale to hover those legs. Keep them hovered. Let's count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the legs on the mat. Come all the way up to sitting. So again, thinking about that straight spine, long through the crown of the head, making sure you're in one straight spine, strong seat here. Flex through the toes, so you're drawing your toes back towards your face. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, keep the gaze straight forward. Do not round the back as you reach for the feet. If you can grab for the bottoms of the feet with the fingers, go ahead and wrap those fingers around the balls of the feet. Your gaze is still straight forward, still thinking about a straight spine here. Bend the elbows as much as you can so that you can draw your chest towards your toes. If you need a micro bend in the knees here, they don't have to be totally straight if that's too much tension through the back of your legs. Just whatever you're doing, you're keeping a straight spine. Go ahead and place the left hand on the outside of the right foot, so you're crossing it over your body. As you exhale, right fingertips are going to draw towards the back of the mat for a twist. Take a breath. Exhale everything back to forward. Grab both of those feet again. This time, draw your nose towards your shin. So you are rounding the spine here. Gaze is directly between the knees. Inhale. And as you exhale, so you can get a little lower. Inhale to lengthen up. Place the right hand on the outside of the left foot. Exhale the left fingertips back. Finding that same twist on the left side. Inhale back forward. Just giving yourself one more lengthening, one more stretch to the back of the legs. And as you exhale, just go ahead and release. Come around and sweep your legs behind you. We're going to be coming into a tabletop position here. So in tabletop, you want all of your fingers spread wide. They're directly under your shoulders, so wrists directly under your shoulders. Knees are directly under your hips, about hip width distance apart. If you look back, you should not be able to see your feet. They should be disappeared behind your knees. Strong, straight spine, same thought here of one straight line from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. Really push into all four corners of your hands. The foundation here is the most important part. Breathe the navel up into this closer to the spine to really make a strong core. Just focus for one breath on this foundation. As you inhale, kick the right foot up and back, like you're stepping on the back wall. So really kicking through the heel. Just hold here. Exhale to lower. Inhale the left leg up and back, kicking on that back wall, really flexing those feet back towards your mat. Exhale to lower. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the neck, lift the gaze. Tailbone points up towards the sky for cow. Exhale, round the back. Gaze goes between the legs, draw the chin towards the chest for cat. Inhale, drop the belly, finding your cow. Exhale, find cat. Pushing through cat here, find what we like to call disco kitty. So just find whatever feels good for you. Just moving your body, moving your spine, wiggling, whatever you need. Maybe you circle the neck. Maybe you close the eyes and just find whatever feels good for you. And when you're ready, go ahead and find a neutral spine. Focusing again on that tabletop form. Inhale that right foot up and back again, kicking through the heel. This time, raise the left arm. So the palm of the hand is facing the midline of the body. You're really reaching through the fingertips as much as you're kicking through that heel. As you exhale, crunch the elbow and the arm under the body so the elbow and the knee touch. Inhale to lengthen them back out. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to lengthen. One more time. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to lengthen out. Keep everything lifted. Bend the right knee so you're stepping on the ceiling. Take the left arm and start to circle it back to grab for your heel. Kick into that hand to start to see your chest rise. As much as you're kicking, you're pulling. So you're creating an arch here, a floor bow. And just breathe. Feeling that stretch through the thigh, feeling the open chest. Exhale slowly, everything goes back to center. Place the left hand down on the mat, keep the right leg lifted. This time we're going to cross it over that bent left knee and just start to come and sit back. So we're coming into cow face pose. Make a little bit of space between your feet so you can sit. So I'm going to show you guys from the front just so you can see if there's any confusion what this looks like. Okay, so my knees are stacked directly over. My feet are next to my hips. Just make as much space as you need. Maybe your knees are not totally stacked over one another. Whatever your hip flexibility is, just working towards that alignment. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe you're holding onto your feet. And as you exhale, just Bend the body over the legs just slightly. Gaze down at the floor. You start to feel that intensified stretch in your hips. Inhale to rise. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise. Stay here for one moment. I'm going to turn back around to the side. So from here, you're going to roll over the legs, plant the palms, okay? Start to realign the feet. You're going to tuck the right toes and lift the whole body, straightening the leg. Left leg comes to sky. We're in three-legged down dog here. So just kind of check in on your alignment. Bend the left knee and open the hip towards the left side of the mat. So we're finding a hip opener. If you look under your right arm, you should be able to see your heel. So your heel is coming back towards your glutes. Breathe here. As you exhale, straighten that leg back out and place the foot on the mat, finding down dog. Drop to the knees, coming back into tabletop, and just take one round of cat-cow on your own. So drop the belly, lift the chest for cow, exhale for cat. Finding a neutral spine, we're gonna go through the same thing on the opposite side. So inhale the left leg up and back, like you're stepping on the back wall. Right arm follows, reaching through the fingertips, palm is facing the midline of the body. As you exhale, crunch underneath the torso, bringing your elbow to your knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to lengthen. One more. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Bend that left knee, reach back for the ankle with the right hand, kick into the hand, pull with the hand, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Feeling that stretch. Exhale slowly, everything back to center. Place the right hand on the mat, cross the left knee over the right, and start to make a little bit of space in between those feet, sitting back into that cow face pose. So once more, I'll turn towards you. Knees are working towards stacking right over each other. Heels are right at the hips or working towards the hips, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale to bow over the legs. Inhale to rise. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise, stay there. Turning back around, roll over the legs, place the palms on the floor, start to close the gap here with the feet, tuck the left toes, push up and back, kicking the right leg to the sky. Bend the right knee and open the hip towards the right side of the mat, drawing your heel towards your glutes, peeking through the arm there, and under the left arm you might see your heel. And just breathe. Think about squaring the shoulders off to the mat. So you're really twisting from the hips, not the chest. As you exhale, straighten the leg, plant it on the mat, finding down dog. Drop to the knees, sink back into a child's pose. Reaching the arms long for the top of the mat. You can have some space here, so your knees are coming wide on the mat. You're sinking your glutes towards your heels. Your forehead is on the mat, and you're just letting gravity pull you down. So just stay here for one moment. Take one full breath. And as you inhale, pull yourself back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and find a down dog. So in down dog, similarly to our tabletop, we have our fingers spread wide. We're pushing through our hands, all four corners of the hand, really heavy here. Pushing through, feeling the palm on the mat. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Tailbone lifts towards the sky. Your legs could be straight or they could be bent. Bend your knees as much as you need so that your spine is straight. Your heels may touch the mat, they may hover. Just find a strong down dog and take a breath. As you inhale, shift forward to a plank position. So here again, our wrists are directly under our shoulders. If you need a modified plank, you can drop the knees and untuck the toes. This is still plank. We're still in that great spine alignment. Really think about a straight spine here still from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. So whatever your plank looks like, hold that here. As you exhale, shift forward just slightly and bend the elbows to 90 degrees, hovering the chest and the thighs over the mat. Inhale, pull your chest through and untuck your toes. Sink the hips towards the mat, gaze towards the ceiling. If you're in that guided Vinyasa, it looks more like this. Exhale to tuck your toes, lift your hips, and shift back to down dog. Find that alignment in down dog. Let's take that through one more time so you can really get the feel of it. So as you exhale, shift forward to plank. Take a moment here to check on your alignment. You need to wiggle the feet back, whatever you need to do to make a nice straight spine. Exhale, lower the body in one straight line. Pull the chest through, untuck the toes. Gaze goes towards the sky. Exhale, roll over the toes, push back, down dog. Beautiful. Look up between the hands, walk your feet a little closer so your toes touch. Couple options here, you can step, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. So if you're stepping, just step up so that your feet are between your hands. If you have a little hop in you, bend the knees, look up between the hands, and hop the feet up. Coming into a forward fold. Our gaze is directly between the shins, just letting the torso hang heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Gaze is directly down at the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Gentle bend in the knees. Inhale, arms sweep up. Prayer overhead to mountain. Exhale, draw hands to heart center. All right, inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, lead with the chest, bend at the hips, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump back into plank and flow through that vinyasa. So lowering the body in one straight line. Pull the chest through, untuck your toes, thighs hover. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. So that vinyasa flow is what we use as a transition between a lot of the different postures. So keep that in mind. If you ever need to skip a vinyasa, you can just hang out in down dog because we're always going to come back here. Or you can drop to the knees, just take a child's pose, or just a comfortable seated position, whatever you need for your practice, okay? So just do what your body's calling for. So if you're in down dog, go ahead and lift the right leg up into the sky. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose. Push your hands into the mat as you place the right foot on the mat next to the right thumb. Straighten the right leg and walk the back leg in just slightly so you can get the whole foot on the mat. Coming into pyramid. Your stance here is like standing on two railroad tracks versus one straight line. Okay, so give your hips a lot of space so you can square them off to the top of the mat. Come up onto the fingertips. Gaze is just at the top of the mat. As you exhale, fold over the knee, drawing your nose towards your knee. Inhale to lengthen, coming up onto the fingertips. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen. Step your left foot up next to your right foot. Walk the feet out towards the edges of the mat and point them off the mat. Point the toes off the mat just a little bit. Sink the hips down, coming into Malasana. So I'm going to turn towards you. This is what Malasana looks like from the front. So like a yogi squat, okay? So really drive the elbows into the knees here. Sink the tailbone towards the floor as you reach through the crown of the head. Sinking those hips. Feet are planted on the mat. And just take a breath here. Go ahead and plant the hands on the mat right next to the feet. Shift the right hand over towards the left and inhale, twist up towards the sky. Exhale to come back to the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, both hands come to heart center. Placing both hands on the mat again, shifting over towards the right. Inhale, left fingertips to sky. Exhale to close. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to close. Place both hands on the floor, lift through the hips. Wiggle the feet back into underneath the hips, toes pointing forward, and just hang here for a moment. Maybe grab for opposite elbows, gazes between the shins, just finding ragdoll. Sway from side to side, release those hips. Fingertips come back to the mat. As you inhale, start to bend the knees and sink back into an invisible chair. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, finding Utkatasana, chair pose. Gaze down at the feet. You should be able to see the toes. If your knees are over your toes, shift back in your seat. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. If the arms overhead are uncomfortable to you, you can always find hands at heart center. Wherever you are, just hold for one breath. Exhale, place your hands at heart center, and inhale, come up onto the toes, staying in that chair position. Sink a little bit more, your thighs should really be burning here. Just breathe. As you exhale, forward fold over the legs. Let your body hang heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, plant the palms. Step or hop back into a plank and flow through your vinyasa flow, lowering the body in one straight line. Untuck the toes for up dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, find down dog. Same thing, left side. So inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose. Gently place the left foot next to the left thumb. Straighten the left leg, walk the back leg in slightly so all of your foot is on the mat. Inhale, come up onto the fingertips, finding pyramid. Exhale, fold over the leg, draw your knee towards draw your face towards your knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Step the right foot up next to the left. Walk those feet out to the edges of the mat. Point the toes off the mat slightly and sink down into Malasana. Breathe here. Inhale, lift the bottom just about an inch. Start to really make this an active position. So rather than sinking all the way down, think about just lifting up slightly, really engaging those legs. Inhale your arms up overhead just for a temporary challenge. As you exhale, sink arms back to heart center. Let your bottom fall. As you inhale, lengthen through the legs, finding forward fold. Walk your feet back underneath your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, fingertips come to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Place the back of the hands on the mat and start to walk them under the feet. So lift the feet and place the hands under them like you're stepping on them. Toes come up to your wrist. Give yourself a little wrist massage here with your toes. Just breathe, enjoying this stretch. Maybe you bend the elbows out towards the side and draw your gaze a little bit deeper. Draw the crown of your head towards the floor a little bit more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, release those hands, plant them on the mat, step or hop back into plank, flow through your vinyasa. Pull your chest through, untuck your toes. Exhale to lift your hips, tuck your toes, down dog. Shift the weight into your left foot. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, draw that knee towards your nose once more. Place the foot on the mat. Stay lifted on the back toes here. Think about keeping that heel like at 90 degrees so that it's pointing towards the ceiling. Keeping a deep bend in the right knee. Inhale, the torso rises, arms sweep up, finding high lunge. Reach through the fingertips as you sink the hips towards the mat a little bit more. As you exhale, back foot turns down on the mat to parallel the back of the mat. Arms sweep down, warrior two. Your knee is directly over your ankle. It's also pointing right at your second toe. You don't want your leg to be falling in. You don't want it to be splaying out. So that's why we try to track the knee right over the second toe. Back leg is strong and straight. Arms are out to a T. Gaze is over the front fingertips. Hip is open towards the left corner of your mat. Chest is towards the left side of your mat. Hold here. As you exhale, drop the front elbow to the front knee. Reach the right fingertips long, finding extended side angle. Internally rotate your hands slightly so your pinky finger points down at the mat. Gaze goes next to the arm up towards the ceiling. Elbow that's planted on your knee, palm faces up. One straight line here from your fingertips to your toes. As you exhale, leave the legs as they are. Cartwheel the arms up and back. So the right fingertips reach for the back of the mat. Left fingertips come around your back and reach for the front hip crease. Dancing warrior. As you inhale, come back to that T, a strong warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the arms to frame the front foot. Rotate back onto the left toes. Right foot goes back to meet the left. Flow through your vinyasa. Pull the chest through for up dog or cobra. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. Same thing, other side. Shift the weight into your right foot. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it through, planting the foot on the mat. I'm gonna turn on my mat so you guys can see me doing it on this side, okay? So staying on the toes, pointing the heel towards the ceiling, deep bend in the front knee, knee tracks directly over second toe. Inhale, arms sweep up, Anjaneyasana, high lunge. Reach through the fingertips as you sink your hips a little bit deeper. As you exhale, open on up to warrior two. Back foot parallels the back of the mat, sinking deep into that front knee. Knee tracks directly over that second toe. Strong, fierce arms here. Gaze goes over the fingertips. Breathe. As you exhale, drop that front elbow to the knee. Reach long through the right fingertips. One straight line. Internally rotate that arm so the pinky finger points down. Bent arm on the front knee, palm faces up. And just shift your gaze towards the ceiling. Hold. Are you breathing? Exhale, leave the legs how they are. Cartwheel the arms up overhead. Reach long through the left fingertips. Finding dancing warrior. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. Take a pause here. One breath. Cartwheel the arms, frame the front foot, come onto the back toes, left foot goes back to meet the right, and flow through your vinyasa. Untuck your toes, gaze goes up, tuck your toes, lift your hips, pushing into the palms of the hand, finding down dog. Take a breath. Shift the weight into the left foot, inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, plant that foot next to the right thumb. Again, stay lifted on those toes. Inhale, arms sweep up, high lunge. Keep the legs as they are and just bend the torso over the front knee. Fingertips point towards the back of the mat, finding humble lunge here. Inhale to lengthen, drawing through the fingertips. Exhale to bow. Inhale to lengthen, reaching through the fingertips. One more time to bow over that front knee. Inhale to rise. Your exhale releases the hands all the way to the mat. Stay lifted on those back toes. Put a little bit of weight into the left palm and start to twist from the belly button. Looking towards the right side of your mat, right fingertips rise, finding twisted lunge. Take a breath. Exhale the hand down to frame the front foot, straighten through the front leg. Rotate the back foot down to parallel the back of the mat, and inhale the arms up and over like we did before, reaching the right fingertips towards the back, left fingertips towards the front hip crease. Finding reverse triangle. Inhale, reach the left fingertips, the right fingertips, towards the front of the mat. When you can't reach anymore, just drop those fingertips to the right shin. Inhale the left fingertips to the ceiling. Think about not dumping into the hip here. So really using that core to hold the body up. You shouldn't be falling over. You really want to actively be holding your upper body over the leg. Gaze is down at the toes. Trikonasana, triangle. Inhale to bend into the front knee, shift onto the back toes, meeting me in high lunge. Exhale the hands down to heart center. Start to shift the body weight over the front knee, and inhale, come up to standing on the right leg, bringing your left knee into your chest for crane. Okay, find the balance here. As you exhale, hinge forward at the hips, kick the left foot towards the back of the mat, bringing your body into a strong T position, finding warrior three. This is a bit of a challenging transition here, so drop the right fingertips to the edge of the mat, okay? So they're in front and out to the side of your toes. Start to open the hip to the left side of the room, or the left side of your mat. Kick through that heel. Fingertips on the left, rise towards the ceiling. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, challenging balance pose here. Exhale, plant that left hand back on the mat, square the hips off to the mat, and lengthen through the left heel, finding half splits. Exhale, bend into the right knee, draw the left knee to the back of the right calf, finding Shiva squat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, drop the foot towards the back of the mat, slowly with control, sink into the front leg. Inhale, arms rise, high lunge. Exhale, frame the front foot. Right foot goes back to meet the left and flow through your vinyasa. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Same flow, left side. Put all your weight into the right foot. Inhale, left foot rises. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, push into the hands, and place the foot next to the left thumb. Stay lifted on the back toes. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale to forward fold, to bow over the front knee. Inhale to rise. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise. One more time. Exhale to bow over that knee. Inhale to rise. Exhale, frame the front foot. Put a little bit of weight into that right hand, twisting at the navel. Left fingertips rise. twisted lunge. As you exhale, frame the front foot, straighten the front leg, rotate the back foot down, cartwheel the arms up overhead, finding reverse triangle. As you inhale, reach those left fingertips towards the front of the mat, drop them to the shin. Inhale the right arm up, finding Trikonasana triangle. Inhale, sink into that front knee, twist onto the back toes, arms rise, high lunge. Draw your hands to heart center as you start to shift the body weight over that front knee. Inhale, standing up on the left leg, drawing the right knee into the chest for crane. Take a moment here to find your balance. Exhale, kick back with that foot, hinging at the hips. Bringing your body into a solid T. Hovering here. Exhale, the left fingertips down to the edge of the mat. Start to open the hip up to the right side of the room. Lengthen through the fingertips. Balancing here. Really flexing that lifted foot. Kicking, stepping on the back wall. Exhale, those right fingertips down to frame the front foot. Lift the heel a little bit more, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. Draw that knee to the back of the calf. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, slowly drop that foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale to frame the front foot. Left foot goes back to meet the right, flowing through that Vinyasa flow. Finding up dog or cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Down dog. Gently drop to the knees, untuck the toes, and sit back into child's pose. Just giving yourself a moment here to release. Sorry. Just find your breath. Following your own breath. Following those inhales and exhales. We have one more challenge, and then we're going to cool down. On your next inhale, go ahead and pull yourself up to a tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, finding down dog. Shift the weight into the left foot, inhale, right foot rises. Exhale, bring it through, knee to nose, drop that foot next to the right thumb. Plant the back foot so the heel touches the mat. The foot is at about a 45-degree angle, so the toes are pointing towards the left side of the mat, but starting to concentrate on the top corner of the mat. Inhale, arms rise, warrior one. As you exhale, you're going to open up to warrior two. Back foot parallels the back of the mat. Find a strong warrior here. As you exhale, straighten the front leg and start to sink all the weight back into the back leg, finding Skandasana. I'm up on my toes here. Maybe your foot is flat on the floor if you have that ankle ability. I do not. Your long leg, your toes are pointing towards the ceiling, and you're just balancing. Take a breath, find a focal point. If you fall, just get back in. Turn onto the left toes, frame the front foot, coming back into a lunge shape here. Plant that foot so the heel touches the mat. Foot is at a 45-degree angle, bend into the front knee, knee stacks directly over ankle. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Same thing here, different sides. So start to straighten that front leg and sink into the back leg, finding Skandasana. Left toes pointing towards the ceiling. Really opening that hip. Just take a breath. Rotate on those right toes. Rotate on the left toes, finding a lunge. Come up onto the fingertips, shine the crown of the head forward for a runner's lunge. Inhale, step the foot up to meet the right and just find a ragdoll. So grab for opposite elbows and just sway, gazes between the shins. All right, we're going to use crow as our peak pose today. So if you know what crow is, feel free to jump right into it. If you want to look at your screen for just a second, I'll show you a great way to get into crow. So you're going to plant the palms right in front of you, okay? You're going to start to make a shelf with the backs of the arms. You're going to come up high onto the toes and push the knees into the backs of those arms. Bend at the elbows and start to lean the body weight forward, gazes directly at the mat. Maybe you just stay here. Maybe you play around with lifting one foot or lifting both feet for crow, okay? When you're ready to come out, just shift your body weight back and come back onto the floor. So everybody give it a try. Let's see. So plant the palms in front of you, start to bend at the elbows, really making a shelf with the backs of your arms, come up high on your toes, look down straight at the mat, and believe you can do it. Lift one toe. Oh, very good, Leslie. Good job. That looked great. Play around with it. It's a fun pose. Gianna, you got it. Nice. Everyone just take maybe one more try. Just finding that sweet spot of balance and strength and really just having fun. Awesome. So if you feel like you've given crow a great try, go ahead and just plant your feet on the floor, lengthen through the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, just walk the hands out to find a down dog. Moving into our cool down here, go ahead and let the right leg rise once more. This time when you shift forward, bring the knee to the outside of the right wrist. Lay the leg down across the mat. Start to walk that left leg back a little bit. So your right leg is going diagonally across the mat, coming back towards your left hip. Left leg is strong and straight. Come up onto the fingertips. And if you can, go ahead and walk down onto your elbows, or maybe your chest and your forehead meet the floor. And just breathe here. One more breath. Walk yourself back up. Tuck the left toes, plant the hands, sweep the right leg back, finding down dog. Same thing on the other side, so left leg rises, shift forward, bring the knee to the outside of the left wrist, lay the shin across the mat, and walk the right leg back. Come up onto the fingertips, really a little bit of a back bend here and a heart opener. And as you exhale, roll forward, maybe onto your elbows, maybe all the way onto your chest. Maybe your forehead touches the mat. Take a couple breaths. On your next inhale, walk your hands back under your shoulders, plant the palms, tuck the right toes, step on back to down dog. Gently drop to your knees And just sweep your legs around. We're gonna come back into that boat position that we started at the beginning of class. So fingertips are pointing towards your feet, towards the top of your mat, right behind your hips. Start to sink back into that sweet spot and let your legs rise. If you feel like one final challenge, you can inhale your arms up to reach for your toes. You can lengthen them over your head, and you can lengthen your legs, finding a V in boat here. Wherever you're at, take 3 good breaths. And your final breath, your exhale releases everything down to the mat, lying on your back. Draw your feet up so that your feet are placed flat on the floor. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Bring your arms out to a T and let that entire 4-shape position fall to the floor. So your right foot is going to touch the floor. The outside of your left thigh is falling on the floor as well. Just breathe here. Maybe your gaze goes towards your right fingertips, giving yourself a little extra cervical spine twist. And just breathe. As you inhale, draw that shape back up to center. Go ahead and release that right leg. Left leg crosses over. So left ankle right on top of right knee. Drop that shape to the right so the bottom of the left foot touches the mat. Arms are still out to a T. Maybe your gaze goes to the left fingertips. Maybe you close your eyes. Start to slow your breathing. Slow your heart. Inhale everything back up to center. Release the leg. Draw both knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around them. Give yourself one good final bear hug. Maybe you rock from side to side, front to back, giving your spine just a little massage. Hug yourself as tight as you can. And exhale, let everything fall open. Finding your final resting pose, Shavasana. Your arms are long down by your side, palms face up. Maybe you roll your shoulder blades under your back just ever so slightly so that your chest opens up a little bit closer to the ceiling. Your eyes are closed or your gaze is softly down your midline. Feet fall open naturally, however that feels for you. Maybe hip width distance, maybe a little wider. And just let your toes fall here. Just stay here in this posture, inviting any final thoughts for class, any final breath. Thank yourself for being on your mat today. Remind yourself that you deserve to be here. You are worthy of being here. And thank yourself for working so hard, for giving yourself this time, this 60 minutes, for just you. Just take a couple moments of breath in silence on your own. If you're ready to bring your practice to a close, start to invite some gentle movements into the body. Maybe wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rocking the head from side to side, rocking the hips. And then roll onto one side of your body, using your bottom arm as a pillow under your head. Just pause for a moment here in side Shavasana. And when you're ready, use your top hand to gently push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Legs crossed, eyes closed. Maybe your palms face up and the backs of your hands are on your knees, inviting in positive energy to end your night. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been so fun to get to do this class with you all. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Caitlin, for doing that.
Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Showed me how tight I am. I really.
No problem. No problem at all. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. It was really good to talk with you guys, and I hope you had fun, and I hope we get to do this again soon.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.